everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
All right. My name is Carol Clark, and I am the District 3 freeholder. And the district is all of East Orange, all of Orange, parts of the central and west wards of Newark, but it's also the entire village of South Orange. And we are here tonight to honor some outstanding South Orange, Maplewood, South Orange, Columbia High School student athletes. And Maplewood. Tonight I have the distinct honor of celebrating the accomplishments of these very, very special young people who have done some amazing things. And there are very, very few things that I enjoy more than celebrating young people and their accomplishments. This is really outstanding because this is the last time that I'll be making this presentation to Columbia High School. I'll be moving on and I'll be leaving the board in December. So you are the last class, the last group of student athletes that I will have the privilege of awarding these certificates of excellence. But I'll tell you one thing, it's been nothing short of fantastic. And I can't help myself, but I call this time of year and fencing the Columbia Invitational. Because I think that you guys have it down pat, and you are the standard that everybody else is seeking to emulate. Well, to help me with tonight's presentation, I am joined by this distinguished gentleman who is also a resident of the city, of the village of South Orange. And that's none other than my distinguished colleague, the Honorable Freeholder Gerald Owens.
Good evening. I'm going to go off the cuff for a minute because usually when I'm in this theater, I'm probably watching a jazz set. The fact that I'm a big jazz fan in New Jersey, and I come here often to catch the music, great music. But tonight we're here to honor you, beautiful young ladies and men, for what you've accomplished. I am freeholder. Oh, Carol, I got the wrong one. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. As Freeholder Clark said, my name is Gerald W. Owens. I'm at-large freeholder and the newest member of the Freeholder Board. I live right here in South Orange, and I happen to love it very much. So I am especially proud to honor these outstanding students from Columbia High School who come from the great town of Maplewood and my hometown of South Orange. I'm not sure if you know about this, but whenever someone new moves to South Orange, they are required to learn something about fencing, because sooner or later, you'll be celebrating a state championship with the whole town. And that's certainly the case tonight. So I want to congratulate all of you for your hard work and for your unbelievable success this season. You have made your families, your school, your towns, and the entire county very, very proud, and especially this freeholder. So with that, I'm going to turn the microphone over to my freeholder colleague, Carol Clark, so that she can go on with the presentation.
Thank you, Freeholder Owens. He is indeed a man of distinction, and he knows a lot about a lot of things. But one of the things that he definitely knows about is recognizing young people for outstanding achievements. Well, 2014 has been a very good year for fencing at Columbia High School. But of course, previous years have also proven to be very good years for Columbia High School. I guess you guys are the epicenter of fencing excellence in the state of New Jersey. And as I look out at all of you gathered here today, I know that I'm gazing on the definition of perfection. The definition of perfection. The Yukon girls are not the only ones who were able to experience perfection this year. And that's because that's what both of your squads were this year. Perfect. Girls and boys, you finished undefeated and as New Jersey state champions. That is no small feat. And to put some very impressive icing on top of that championship cake, the boys' saber squad, well, I guess they just added one more, another state championship as well. So you guys just, I guess that's what the C in Columbia High School is for, huh? Champions. So this evening, as we absolutely are delighted to honor the Columbia High School girls fencing team first, and the Columbia High School boys fencing team second, and the Columbia High School boys saber squad for winning their respective 2014 New Jersey State Championships, and for putting a resounding exclamation point at the end of this title, Columbia High School, the fencing capital of New Jersey. You can add that to your T-shirts, to your practice shirts, to the bulletin board in the locker room. But before I continue, I'm going to pause to ask, well, I know one of your coaches is here, to ask an outstanding coach who, Darryl, I guess you just created a dynasty, huh? Yeah. Who's created a dynasty, to please come forward and join me at the podium. So will you please welcome the incomparable Coach Darryl White. Coach White shared with me that Coach Muhammad is not able to join us. But he also shared something else that I think bears mentioning, that she's number 7 in the world, and that she is a part of the fencing, the United States Olympic fencing team, that she's an ambassador for the sport. So it's understandable if she couldn't make it tonight. But Coach White is standing in for her as well. I say it all the time, but I've known this gentleman for a very long time, and I know the measure of the man. And you guys probably know it too by now, that he was an All-American football player at the University of Nebraska. Just so grounded, so humble, and so very, very accomplished. And so I just want you to know that as a, proud Panther alum, I'm really, really proud of you and all that you've accomplished. Well, before I tell you more about these amazing fencers, I'm going to ask Coach if he will say a few words about the team and about your season. Coach?
Thank you. First, I'd like to thank the Essex County Board of Chosen Freeholders for honoring both teams, both the boys team and the girls team this evening. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. I just apologize that we don't have as many fencing team members present as I would have liked to, but we still really, really appreciate the honor. This year was a fantastic year in fencing for Columbia High School. At the beginning of the season, we challenged the kids. We challenged them and told them that we weren't going to be satisfied with just one state championship. We wanted 2 state championships, both the boys and the girls. And what did they do? They went out and did exactly what we challenged them to do. Whatever we put in front of them, they seemed to just eat it up and just run with it. And they were an excellent group. Everything that could be won this year in fencing, both boys on the boys' side and the girls' side, Columbia High School won. We won the Santelli tournament, we won the Citrullo tournament, we won the district tournaments, and we also were state champions, which is just an accomplishment that, I mean, it's going to be really difficult to repeat. And these 2 teams, I think, will go down in Columbia history as 2 of the greatest teams in the history of Columbia fencing. And as you all know, this is a program with a really long and valued tradition in the sport. And I just want to tip my hat to these young athletes. I kind of work them pretty hard in practice, and sometimes you expect them to come and tell you, Coach, you back off a little bit. You're working us a little bit too hard. But no, they want even more. I mean, they want to be challenged even at a greater level, and that's just a tribute to them as athletes. And none of this could have been possible. I always say this, but none of this could have been possible without the support that we receive from our parents. We have a tremendous parents organization, and they support us in every single aspect of this sport. And I can easily say that there's no other school in this state that has a parents organization that is as supportive as the Columbia High School fencing team's Parents Association. But again, we had a tremendous year. Like Freeholder Clark said, the Connecticut girls team is not the only team that had perfection. We had perfection this year. And at this time, we have a few of our girls here. I'd like to call them up at this time. First young lady fenced epee for us. This was actually her first year of fencing, but she came in and she really worked hard, and she really improved from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. And she's undecided. One of the things that I think I'm most proud of also is I'd say 99% of our fencers go on to college, which is, to me, is more important. And this young lady is Mariam Latif. The next young lady I'd like to call fenced a foil for us. She was the team captain. She's a 4-year team member. And on our girls' side, we didn't have that many seniors on our girls' side, but we had a few seniors that they were very instrumental in molding the younger kids and keeping us together as a team. But this young lady did an excellent job for us, fencing foil. And I'm proud to say that she'll be continuing fencing in her education next year at Penn State University, Najee Clark. And lastly, this young lady is, I have to say, she's like a jack of all trades. She has the keys to the facility. She lets us in and out. And she filled in for us in whatever weapon that we needed. Basically, it was foil and saber. She also is a 4-year contributor to the program. I can easily say that this young lady to my right and the young lady that I'm about to call up to the stage, they're going to be greatly missed next year. It's going to be different to come to practice and not see these 2 young ladies at practice. This young lady is going to continue her education at Virginia Wesleyan next year. This is Joelle Santos. That's the girls, yeah.
Well, this concludes the presentations for the girls. Coach, we have these for the rest of the members of the team. We also have this presentation for you, for the school, for you. This is, Gary, this is for Coach, correct? And there are others for the school?
Yes, there are.
So that's for you. And the young ladies have a copy of everything right here. Just very quickly, I just wanted to just knock out a few numbers for everybody. You defeated Voorhees, Governor Livingston, and Livingston High School before going on to defeat Bernards High School 14-13 to capture the state championship on February 26. This was your second title in the last 3 years, and the 11th since 1998, which prompted NJ.com to characterize the team as a juggernaut, to say the least. They said, and we quote, "Simply put, no girls fencing program has come close to dominating the sport in the manner which Columbia has. The program is the standard by which any team in the state is measured." Coach, when you talked about the Santelli tournament, how you captured that, the District 3 championship. You were declared the 2014 Girls Fencing Team of the Year, #1 in New Jersey, and you were further recognized by the naming of Samantha Vicara to the first team All-State, Blessing Olade to the second team All-State, and Marissa Vicara to the third team All-State. Are they their sisters? Sisters, all right. So what can we say other than the fact that we're very, very proud of you. I wish the two seniors nothing but the best. I'm waiting with bated breath to turn on the television set for one of the Olympiads and say, go, go. I know that young lady. I had an opportunity to meet her, and then you can I can hopefully get an autograph a little bit later on. But no, just thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for bringing such honor and distinction to Essex County. Let's hear it for the girls' fencing team, the champions.
Do you need
Now, yes.
the blue?
Before we get started on the boys fencing team, I want to acknowledge the presence of a young man in the audience, our photographer, Glenn Freisen, who has been a classmate of mine since we were in first grade together. And we went all through school together and actually graduated from high school, having known each other all this time. But his grandson is here tonight, Coach, and his grandson is also a fencer, and he's Saber, correct? So would you stand up and be recognized,
What school?
please? Matsul. So he wanted to come and share this moment with you guys, and I thought that was pretty neat. That just goes to show what a fan and he is, and the appreciation for the
What school? What school does he fence for?
Oh, I'm sorry, what school? Okay. Peter Westbrook Foundation, okay.
It's an awesome fencing organization.
Okay. Now, for the young men. In the state tournament, the Columbia men, the Columbia boys team, The Cougars defeated Northern Highland, Montclair, and Ramapo High School, before going on to defeat Ridge High School, 17-10, to capture the state championship on February 26th. This year's title was the team's second consecutive state championship and the program's fourth in the last 5 years, which prompted NJ.com to refer to the team as both a storied program and model of sustained excellence and a dominant dynasty. The team also won its 5th straight District 3 championship, as well as the championship of the prestigious Citrullo tournament. The team's accomplishments were acknowledged by the Star-Ledger when it declared, just as it did with the girls' team, that the 2014 boys fencing team was the team of the year, a distinction it also earned in 2013 and 2011 and 2010, and by ranking the Cougars, obviously, the number one team in the state of New Jersey. The team was further recognized by the naming of Andrew Dotto, Brian Hammerberg, and Max Gould to the first team All-State. So, at this point, I'm going to ask Coach to come forward and please call up the members of the boys fencing team and add whatever he'd like to about the boys team.
Boys team. When you're at the pinnacle, when you're at the top, it's sometimes it's really, really difficult to stay at the top because, I mean, everyone that you compete against really gives you their best shot. And I told these guys at the beginning of the year that we've got a huge target on our back and that every opponent that we're going to face is going to give us their best effort in order to beat us because they respect us and they know that we are a top team. It's difficult to be in that situation and to continually meet after meet after meet, tournament after tournament after tournament, still come on top. I tip my hat to these young men. It's just a tribute to their dedication to their sport and to their hard work. I mean, these young men really, really, really are dedicated to the sport, and I mean, they really work hard. I see my seniors. I see 6 seniors there in the audience. I'm going to really, really miss them next year. They were all a huge, huge part of this program and a huge part of this program's success. And I don't think we could have done it without them and without their effort. And at this time, I'd like to acknowledge them. First young man I'd like to acknowledge, tell you a little story. It was kind of a funny story to me. Because I remember him when he first started coming around the facility. He wasn't even, I think he was probably in about the 6th grade, 5th or 6th grade. And couldn't wait for him to get to the program. He finally gets to the program, and it seems like the time just goes by. I remember him when he was real small, but I'm pulling up to the program, to the facility, and I look over, and he's pulling up next to me driving. So I said, my goodness, where has the time went? But I'm going to really miss this young man. He fenced foil for us for 4 years. He's a 4-year starter, a real main cog in this program. Very, very dedicated to the sport. And another thing that I think he needs to be recognized for is that he's also a tremendous teammate. Excellent team spirit, willing to help out the younger fencers to try to improve their skills. And he will be continuing his fencing career next year at Johns Hopkins University, Jared LeBron. Also a team captain. The next young man has a very, very similar story to Jared. I saw him at the facility long before he even got to the high school, and we knew that we were going to have something special once he got there. Again, his attributes, characteristics, extremely hard worker, really dedicated to the sport. As I said with Jared, the same thing with this young man. He's a main cog in this wheel, this success of this program. I'm going to really miss him next year. He hasn't exactly decided which school he's going to go to next year, but I think he's leaning towards St. John's University, John Kirk. Also a 4-year starter and also a team captain. Next young man came to us, this is his first year. His sister is fencing with us, but this is the first year that he actually came out and fenced with us. And I can only, myself and Coach Muhammad, we were talking, and we said, oh boy, if he would have only came out 3 years ago, there's no ceiling to where this young man could be. But he's a very dedicated athlete, and I only have to say one thing to explain to you his characteristics and his the way this young man is, that he's going to be attending West Point next year.
Wow.
You know the dedication and the discipline that's needed to go to the United States Military Academy and the type of character that's needed. So I need not say any more. This is Noah Cambili. No offense, the Saber Force. Next young man, also a 4-year starter, also a team captain. I'd have to say he was our MVP this year. He's very solid. He came through for us time and time again. It was a lot of pressure placed on him, and he seemed to respond. The more pressure that was placed upon him, the greater was his response. As was earlier mentioned, he was voted on the state championship, well, the all-state team, first team all-state. Again, he's a 4-year starter. We're going to really miss him next year. He will be attending Brandeis University next year, Max Gould. Next young man. I personally have a lot of respect for him. He was placed in a pretty difficult situation where he had some people ahead of him. He really didn't get the fence as much as he would have liked the fence. But when his number was called, when his opportunity came, he was ready. I mean, he was ready not just to fill in, he was ready to do well. He did exceptionally well when he was called upon, which was quite a few times this year. He's a team captain also, and got a lot of character, because a lot of situations where you're an athlete and you've got a couple of people in front of you, it's easy to put your head down and get disgruntled and, you know, just talk about what I should have did, or they're not letting me participate, and I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that. No, this young man was completely the opposite. He was very supportive to his teammates, and as I said, when his number was called, when we needed him, he was right there, and he came through with some really clutch victories for this team. And he fenced the FA for us. We're going to really miss him. Another 4-year varsity participant, Harrison Clark. Last young man, fenced epee for us. The improvement that this young man made, if I could have shown you a video of him as a freshman and shown you a video of him as a senior, you would really would not believe it. I mean, this young man made such tremendous strides in this sport in terms of his skill level. It just shows you what determination and what you can do if you put your mind to it. And he's a strong-minded young man, and he was really determined to get as good as he could, to hone his skills as much as he possibly could for this program. And he will be greatly missed next year. As I said, he fenced epee for us. He was our C-strip in epee. And even this year, the strides that he made, I think I told his mom he hit a little spot like all athletes do in the season where he was in a little lull, and then all of a sudden it was like you turned on a light switch. All of a sudden something hit him, and he was fencing like I had never seen him fence before. I actually went and told his mother, I said, Mrs. Cho, whatever you're feeding him, keep feeding him, because I mean it's like he just changed. It's just like night and day. So at this particular point, I'd like to bring up someone who we're going to definitely miss next year, and was a very vital part of our success. As I said, we couldn't have done it without Ravi Cho. Really going to miss these seniors that I'm looking at right now. Thank you.
You know, I coached girls basketball and on the high school and the collegiate levels. And you can hear it and feel it in a coach's heart when he knows that he had something special and it's the end of the road for now. It's never goodbye. It's just so long. Before I came here this evening, I had the opportunity to reunite with 3 or 4 of the young women that I coached in high school. I'm not going to tell you my age, I'll just tell you it was a while ago. And they broke out the yearbook, and boy did we laugh and enjoy a couple of moments together. And I wish for you that some years down the road, you'll come back and you'll look up Coach Muhammad, or you'll look up Coach White, and you guys will break out the yearbook, and you'll remember these wonderful times that you had, and this incredible moment that you've shared. A moment where you were perfect, where you were the shining star. You know that one shining moment? Well, you guys nailed it. You ladies nailed it. So ladies, will you please join these gentlemen on stage so that we can give this perfect girls and boys fencing team a rousing round of applause. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen, for the Columbia High School Girls and Boys State Championship. Now, Coach, this is for you. We also have commendations for your Sabre team. They just decided that they weren't going to leave anything on the table for the other squads. And so the boys' Sabre team decided that they were going to run the table as well. And they won the 2014 New Jersey Sabre Squad State Championships, its second consecutive title at the NJSIAA Fencing Championships at North Hunterdon High School in Clinton, New Jersey. I mentioned the names of the young people who received that award. I know that we're in competition with something that's going on at school right about now. So I'm not going to hold you guys much longer, because you may still have an opportunity to get back there and share with some of your classmates. But Coach, we just wanted to make sure that you receive these for each of the Sabre squad members, okay? And we would like to get a photograph, I think at this point in time, right?
You want to put this down? You just hold one up for the photo.
Our Freeholders Vice President, would you like to come up and be a part of this photo? And once we take that photo shot, then we're going to separate photo because I did a separate photo.
My name is Brendan Gill. I'm Essex County Freeholder representing District 5, which represents the communities of Bloomfield, Belleville, Glen Ridge, Nutley, and my hometown of Montclair. I'd like to thank everyone for taking time to be with us tonight as we